How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Um, so I figured I'd put out a new video today. My last video was a review on Tobacco Vanille, and this is just going to be a quick a haul video, and a little bit that's something that's on my mind. So here I have two designer and two niche, and then one arguably a niche. I think it's niche, and that's going to be kind of the topic at hand real quick, and I'll try to make this brief. But people, it's so subjective on what people look at as far as what's a niche fragrance and what's not a niche fragrance. Some people say it's the value. If it's expensive, it's niche. Some people say that if they produce other things other than cologne, that they're not niche. That a niche house will just strictly make fragrances. Which, let's look at Tom Ford, guys. Tom Ford is not really known for the fragrances. They're known for their suits and stuff like that. So, my personal opinion on what a niche is going to be something that's obscure that your normal person's not going to know about. Okay, it's not going to be the person going into Sephora or Macy's looking for Acqua di Gio or La Mall. They're going to specifically look out for these, like I said, these obscure kind of like Montals. And I thought that I wasn't a big fragrance person back in the days. I never heard of Montal or Creed or Bond Number 9. I never heard of any of these. And so I think it really targets a niche group of people that, and then also, people that will look at a price of a fragrance. So price does play a little bit of into the decision. If you look at someone and say, hey, I spent $300 on this Creed, and people would be like, what? That's insane. I remember when I first really started getting into collecting, I came across Green Irish Tweed, and it was like two something, 300, and I was like, I will never own a bottle of fragrance, a cologne that is more than $50, $60, $70, $80. And so that's kind of how I view niche. I mean, everybody's got their own take on it. That's my personal take on it. I guess to sum it up, it's just something that's obscure that only they target people like me and people in the fragrance community. They're not out there for the mainstream, people. I have a friend of mine that this guy, he's all about fashion. And we're talking like $300 Rockin' Republic jeans. I mean, $200 shirts. I mean, this guy spends a lot of money on his wardrobe, but he thinks people are stupid to spend $300 on a Tom Ford. So that's just kind of my take on it. Everybody's got their own little take on niche and whatever. So let's hop into this 5-bottle haul. And I'm just making this just because I said I'd put more videos out. This is the first time I've ever done a haul video. So, and these are fragrances that I absolutely love. I've owned 4 of the 5 in the past. I mean, I've sampled them all, but I've actually owned 4 bottles of the 5. I've sold them and have later regretted it. So we'll just kind of get right into it. We're at 4.5 minutes. So we'll get right into it. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but one of them I got during Christmas, and the other 4 I've picked up just over the last few days. And so the first one that I got, we'll start from order from when I got it, is going to be Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. you know, this here is a 50 ml decant, and I talked a little bit about it on my Tom Ford on my Tobacco Vanille review when I had this, and also showed my bottle. Is that this bottle here was 120 bucks. It's 50 ml. You could buy a 50 ml bottle, the official packaging and bottle, for 200, 220. So you need to ask yourself, look, I'm a bottle collector, and I'm not trying to rehash this because I've already talked about this on the Tobacco Vanille review. So I'm not trying to rehash it, but I saved 80 to 100 bucks on this bottle as opposed to buying the official packaging. Am I happy with my purchase? Absolutely. Because first of all, look at it. This thing displays really nice. It's not like um, some cheap uh, bottle. You know, people that are making these decants, they're doing a really good job out there. They're getting real creative. There's some people. I'm sorry for I keep smelling this. I absolutely love this fragrance, but I'll put it down now so I don't keep smelling it. But there's some people out there that get real creative on their labels, and so yeah, it's Tobacco Vanille was got it around, or I got it for Christmas from my girlfriend, and so that's bottle number one. And then like I said, in the last few days, I picked up another 4 bottles. We'll start off with this one, and I've had this one in my collection before. And actually, this is my very first bottle that I purchased back in 2000 and late 2001. I had a coworker that was wearing it. I smelt it, loved it, and I ran out and literally bought a bottle. And then I've gone through a few bottles, and I sold my last bottle, and then this one came up for sale, and I had to buy it because it's just, I really think that a collection, at least in my eyes, a collection is not a collection without it. So it's gonna be Chanel Allure. It's a 3.4, and yeah, it's a great fragrance, guys. I mean, it's spicy and vanilla dry down. I see people post this as a safe signature scent, or as I've seen some videos have it as a safe blind buy. I wouldn't say that. That's my personal opinion. This could be offensive. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it, but it's not that cool water Acqua di Gio type safe fragrance. Nautica, Boss. It's got some spice in it that I love. I love this fragrance. This is my signature scent, and like I said, this is like my third bottle, and so sample it out. It's an amazing fragrance, guys. So Chanel's Allure, the original Chanel Allure that got it started for the Allure line, and then well, I'll go a little bit out of order. Just we'll keep it in the Chanel house. This one is from the Chanel.com, and it is going to be Chanel Allure Edition Blanche. It's sad that you can only pick this up now at the boutique or at the .com, Chanel.com, but this was my scent of the day today. Wow, beautiful fragrance. And you know what's funny is I had like a 10 ml decant of this a couple years ago, and it just goes to show how your nose really develops. All I got out of this was lemon. That was it. That was all that I got. And I don't have any of the note breaks down in front of me, but I know that if I remember correctly, I think there was a vetiver note with some pink pepper and a few other things. But all I got was lemon from top to bottom. I would wear it, and it was an official decant. It wasn't a friend of mine decanted me out, so it wasn't like a fake. It lasted forever. I mean, it was the real stuff. But I get that vetiver try down now, which it just, like I said, just goes to show like on how longer you're in the fragrance game, and the more fragrances you smell, your nose really starts to pick up on notes and things that you wouldn't have picked up, traditionally. But this is a beautiful fragrance, guys. I'm absolutely happy to have this in my collection. I also have Chanel Allure Homme Sport, and for the longest time I thought they smelled pretty dang similar, and I thought that it would have been a redundant purchase to buy Edition Blanche. But no, they go their own ways. I mean, yeah, they both target the warmer months, and they both have that. They kind of fit in the same genre, if you will, but they are two separate fragrances completely. They go their own separate ways. So, if you own a Allure Homme Sport or Edition Blanche, do not be afraid to look into the other one, because they both serve their own purposes, and that's a beautiful fragrance. I'm glad I finally got it. I had a couple people back out on selling me bottles. I'm very picky on buying my Chanels. I don't, with Chanel and Creed being two of the most faked fragrances out there, you need to really be careful. And so I check. I do my own due diligence on when I'm buying my fragrances, especially Chanel's and stuff like that. But yeah, this one's from Chanel.com. So I went a little out of order just to keep it in the Chanel family. So, and then I'm going way out of order here, because then I'm just gonna show the one I got today, or yesterday. And again, I had this bottle, and this is the one that I consider a niche fragrance that cost $40, and because of the reasons why I explained earlier in this video. And it's gonna be nonetheless of 24 gold. Guys, gals, I'm telling you, you could honestly, the quality of this juice, you can honestly, this has a serious, like an amber, tons of amber, it's sweet, oud. I mean, you could repackage this, honestly. I'm not even kidding you. You could repackage this in a Tom Ford bottle and charge $200 for it, and it would sell like crazy. I guarantee it. There's nothing about this. I mean, you think gimmicky, right? Jack Bauer 24, which, by the way, I am a huge, huge 24 fan, and I'm excited about 24 coming back. Haven't missed a single episode. Own all the DVDs. The season's on DVD, but yeah, you'd think it was almost gimmicky. 24. That's almost like a Beverly Hills 90210 fragrance coming out. But take this juice serious, guys, because this is a very serious fragrance. This is something a very beautiful date night. This is a man's fragrance right here. I really don't see a kid wearing this, a high schooler, but this is it's really nice, and the performance on it, forget about it. You're washing this stuff off before it wears off. You're getting, or at least I get, 8 to 10 hours of projection. That's not talking longevity. Forget it. 24 hours. You're showering by the time the longevity's gone, and this thing projects for 8 to 10 hours. So I sold this here. I had a fire sale because I needed some book money for school, and I sold it. And when I literally packaged this up and sent it out, and I was getting ready to mail it, and I emailed the guy, and I said, can I back out of the sale? Do you really want it that bad? Because I will refund you your money plus $10. And he's like, no, I really want it. So I was like, all right, you bought it. I'm not one of those kind of guys. I'm not a douchebag to back out of my sales. But once I packaged this up, I realized, like, this was one of those fragrances that out of that fire sale, I sold like 30 bottles. This was one of them I knew I had to get back immediately. So I got that. And then last, but definitely not least, is okay. At one point I had almost 400 bottles of fragrances, designer niche. I don't care. I'm not a niche head. You see a lot of people like on the Fragcom, and they're always posting their niche, niche, niche. Guys, there are beautiful designer fragrances out there. That the Chanel's, Dior. There's just a lot of beautiful designers out there. So don't get wrapped up if you're new into the game and you're watching this video. Don't don't try to keep up with the Joneses, man. I did it. I made some stupid purchases early on because I felt the need that in order for me to be accepted in the community, that I couldn't be posting, Nautica or Chanel, even though Nautica is my nose has gone past those fragrances, but keep within your means, man. Don't be charging stuff and not paying your bills and just to keep, I honestly, this is no joke. These 5 bottles here, I plan on, and we all say it, but I plan on going on a hiatus for a little while. Um, I think I have, 100 bottles, and I'm still selling. I want to get down to like maybe 20, and just kind of stay at that. But um, so, anyways, this next bottle here. So what I was getting at is I've had almost about 400 bottles at one point. I've had my nose on probably close to, I would say, 1,000, maybe 1,200 fragrances. Okay, so I've owned like 400 bottles, and then I've probably sniffed another 600 to 800 decant samples. I mean, going to Sephora, Macy's, I just smell sample, sample, sample everything out there, and that number might even be higher, but that's a conservative number. I have never used this word. I've never used the word masterpiece before in my life, as far as a fragrance I've smelled. I've smelled a lot of fragrances that I give 10 out of 10s. You can still receive a 10 out of 10 and still not get that masterpiece tag, if you will. For instance, definitely 10 out of 10. Tobacco Vanille, 10 out of 10. Ooh. Um, the Chanel's, I would say Allure is probably like 9.5, and same with the Dijon Blanche. And I have a bunch of 10 out of 10 fragrances, but they don't have that masterpiece thing that where I smell them and I'm just like, my God, the art behind this fragrance is to die for. The composition of this next fragrance is, I could talk forever about it. And I finally have a bottle. I've worked off of so many decants because it is really expensive. It's like 250 for 100 ml. You know what's sad is, I guess that's not really that expensive these days for a niche fragrance. People are spending that like nothing. Um, but I bought this one's a 50 ml, 170, and I finally have it in my collection. I've had uh, decants and 5 ml decants, 10 ml decants, and let's just get right into it. And it's gonna be Musk Ravageur. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right here, masterpiece. Out of the 400 bottles that I have owned at one point, nothing ever flirted with masterpiece. This here, in my eyes, is a true masterpiece. You get that vanilla, the clove, the musk, the spices. Man, this fragrance is amazing. Now, you find that it has a lot of love. I would say, and I haven't looked at any numbers on base notes of Fragrantica or anything, but I would say it probably gets like about 80% of love. Out of that 80%, I'm only gonna say maybe 30% of those people love this fragrance from top to bottom. The other 70%, they can't get past that clove note. But once and they're an hour in, they absolutely love that dry down. It gets referred to as a Cinnabon. And I can definitely see that. A musky vanilla cinnamon. Fuck, it's so good. Um, but for me, I love this thing from top to bottom. I'm not kidding you. If they made this fragrance top to bottom with that clove note, gosh, that clove is beautiful. I love the smell of clove. But so yeah, that's kind of about it. Those are my little haul video. I know we're at 20 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. It's 7 in the morning. I've been up all night working on a paper, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little haul video, and look out for a couple reviews I have coming out. A little spoiler. Oh, ho, ho, ho. So take care, guys, and comment and rate and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.